Glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to Yakim doing the work in truth and in sincerity. Um, Basically, this video is going to be a short one, land backing off of the video that Apostle Gabar did, land backing off of the brother named Zion from one of the GMS camps. And I'm just going to land back off that. And the brother Zion's video was entitled Jake Stop Being Simple About the Israelite Foreigners. And basically just talking about how, our people are going to look like the nations that they were scattered among. And here's another view of that, basically the tares and the wheats. I mean, we can't judge a person off the way they look. It's all about the spirit. And the Lord don't look at the outside of a person. He looks at the inside. And that it has something to do with discerning spirits. And if you can't discern spirits, well, hey, don't trouble those just because they don't look like John Shaft or John Leguizamo, so to speak, So I'm going to give you this parable of the tares and the wheats. This is Matthew 13, starting at 24. And this is the red letters, so you know it's Yahweh Shai who's saying this. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. And the enemy while we slept is basically while we were, in slavery and we had no clue of what the truth was. And his enemy sowed tares among the wheat. In other words, the enemy, which would be the other nations, especially Esau, the so-called white man, sowed tares among the wheat. He was having sex with our women, and and their children were coming out dark-skinned. And you know how Esau put forth that decree, if you got a drop of blackness in your skin, you're black. No, that's not true. As we know, pursuant to Numbers, the 12th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, your pedigree is by your father's line. So you are what your father is, So the enemy, especially Esau, has sowed tares among the wheat, So there's other nations spread among our nation that look like our own people, but are not. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of the harvest I will say unto the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles and burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. So in that parable is basically saying there are enemies of the other nations among us that look like John Shaft and John Leguizamo that are actually the other nations. And of course, I brought out this picture because you can hardly tell tares from wheats. Now in this it says wheats bow over, tares stand tall. But what about when the wheat is standing tall? You might just bound some wheat with tares. So the reapers, which is the angels, the harvest, the end of the world, pursuant to Matthew the 13th chapter, at the end of the chapter, it basically tells you, hey, the angels is going to discern from that, because the angels know. And as far as us having a discerning spirit, we're supposed to know too. And if we don't know, then we let the tares and the wheats grow together. In other words, we don't know who is who. We don't know for certain who is who. So, but if you have a discerning spirit, if they believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and they believe the truth, hey, Let them grow together. Because you're not going to question a guy that looks like John Shaft, but down his line, maybe 5, 6 generations, his daddy is a so-called white man, an Edomite, you know, a straight up Edomite. But thinking that he was a black man, he had sex with a black woman and the babies kept getting darker and darker. And now all of a sudden John Shaft, an Edomite that looks like John Shaft, comes out, you know. But you won't trouble that person. So, you know, don't trouble them that look like the other nations that actually believe, man. Don't look at them sideways. Hey, just if they believe, treat them like a brother, you know. And the Lord is going to do the discerning anyway. So, and then going back to the scriptures, I also have, let's see, Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye assemble, all the beasts of the field come to devour. So, hey, the speckled bird. We know the Lord's chosen, the Israelites, are going to look like all the other nations. Why? Because the Lord said his heritage is unto him like a speckled bird. And if you look at a speckled bird, it's a bird of many colors, man. A bird that looks like, you know, the colors of every other bird is on this speckled bird. So in other words, Israelites can look like any nation. What is it? Every nation comes from the waters of Judah. So the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Indians, Latinos, which are the true Israelites, hey, you can look like any nation. So, you know, just going back, lambacking off of the video the Apostle Gabar did about the brother Zion, you know, hey, that's a great video. But this is just another look at it. Hey, are you going to look sideways as a guy that looks like John Shaft, but his line goes back to Edomites? You'll be too quick to accept him. But that's looking at the outer man instead of the inner man. You know, trying to get an Edomite to believe, basically. You know. So yeah, get it out of your mind that white people are the enemy. Esau and the other nations are the enemy. In other words, those that don't believe in Yahweh Yahweh Shai are the enemy. Don't think of it as a color thing, because it's not. It's a nationality thing. White people aren't the enemy. Edomites are the enemy. You really got to think about stuff like that, you know. You got to put that in your mind, because it's not about skin color. Now, we know that 9 times out of 10, most of the time, yeah, skin colors, you're going to look like the nation that you are from your skin color, but that's not all the time. So we can't look at the world as we see it, as we learned from carnal thinking Esau. It's not about color. So it's about anyone that believes in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and understands this truth, man. Because if they understand this truth, then 9 times out of 10, they are, 10 times out of 10, they are an Israelite if they understand the truth. And if they believe in Yahweh Yahweh Shai, hey, don't look at them sideways. Rather look at everybody else sideways that don't believe, you know. And not because they may not be of the nation of Israel, more because they don't know the truth or don't accept the truth. But that's all I wanted to share today in this video. That basically my point is across. You can't, if you're going to look at someone that looks like an Edomite sideways, then you might as well look at the ones that look like Israelites sideways too. Because there are tares spread among the wheat. And if you're not going to look at the ones that look like Israelites sideways, then look at nobody sideways. Just accept them if they accept Yahweh Yahweh Shai and this truth, man. And with that, I hope you, Akim, were edified. Until next time, all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.